Alright guys, what it do? It's your boy X coming to you guys for another video. And in today's video, I want to give something a try. I've used it before, but I never tried to use it in this method. And I was reading an article about some of the high dollar 1%ers, how they they use their money as a way to buy the things they want. Like Elon Musk and people of this nature, they pay themselves like this small time salary, but they're able to go out and buy such bigger things, right? And I was like, how is this so? And they was just like, it's pretty much that way because they just leverage their assets. They borrow against their assets. Elon Musk owns X amount of Tesla share. He only pays himself like $1 or something a year, but he can leverage the money that he has in his shares of Tesla without actually selling his shares. So I was just like, okay, cool. That's a crazy concept because most of us normal people, we have to prove our income to get a job, how long we've been on the job, and those things of that nature to get approved for things. But the way they go about doing it is a whole nother type of whole nother topic in itself of how they go about using theirs. And I was like, how can I put myself or get myself to a way to do that where I start buying assets with my assets? Like, can somebody of my low level do something like that? How, if possible, how would I even how would I start to even do that? Like, where do I start? And it dawned on me actually in my last video that I made money with my money by leveraging it through M1 borrow, right? So I was like, what if I took that money, let's say 10,000, I took 10,000, borrowed against my money, and then reinvested into my actual dividend portfolio, right? And then I let them take the interest they would charge me, and then I start to pile in more money behind that. Would my portfolio grow significantly? And it got me thinking, start running numbers, and I want to go over with you guys today. So let's get into today's video. Alright guys, so we finna lay some numbers down on what I'm thinking of doing, most definitely what I'm thinking of trying, and if it's an actual possibility. But before we get in that, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking this video. If you like it, it really helps my YouTube channel grow, and I want to grow. So thanks, you rock. But we talking M1 borrow, right? I have a dividend portfolio. I typically invest around 2K into this portfolio a month, right? So this is my logic here. This is my logic. Check me, right? And most definitely, leave some comments down. Let me know what you're thinking of this actual strategy. But I also want to say, say this before I get started. Do not follow my advice. This is something that I'm trying and I'm testing. Like I said, not saying this is guaranteed. No way, no how. I'm not saying it, but this is my logic and what I'm processing, and I'm willing to try, potential lose. Not saying half my not half my portfolio, but it's a chance I could be wrong and lose some money. So I don't want you to lose money, but if it works for me, and maybe what you can tweak it, make it better for you, or maybe it doesn't work for me, where you could help me to make it better. That's what the comments are for. That's what this video is for. That's why you should like it. But my idea is to invest $10,000 of the borrowed money from M1 Finance into my actual dividend portfolio. Why? It will allow me to accumulate more shares, which will in turn increase how much I make in dividends, right? The borrow rate on M1 borrow is 2.25% if you are a plus member, which I am. So at 2.25%, if I were to borrow 10K, if I'm not mistaken, think that's around $225 a year, right? If that's how much I would pay over the course of a year, I think that's actually worth borrowing. If that being the case, if it's just $225 worth of interest, I will make more in dividends, right? Now, top that with the fact that I myself can allocate $2,000 minimum, and if I see that the ball's really rolling with this, I could potentially invest $3K into this a month, right? So if I'm able to put in 2 to 3, depending on I know I'm gonna put in 2, but if I see the ball rolling, I will stop what I'm doing with everything else truthfully and plow more into this until at least I get to 6 figures. But that's a future exit problem. We're talking about the current exit. If I can plow, let's say 2K into this a month over the course of the remaining of the year, right? And I borrowed the 10, it's April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. We got 9 months. So 9 times, what, 2? What's that, 18,000? Right. So I would invest 18,000 of my own money plus 10 that I borrowed, and I only have to pay $225 for that borrowed money over the course, for the remainder of this year. Probably less because it's not a whole year, but if I did it for, a whole year, it'd be $225, but whatever. I would initially be investing around $28,000 into this portfolio. All right, so my portfolio is worth 26K now. I borrowed 10, that'll put me at 36. Over the course of this year, if I put in 2K a month, that should put me around 54K invested in, right? Now I will have to pay the interest for the 10K I borrowed, which is at 2.25%, which is about $225 a year, right? Dividends reinvested should literally destroy whatever I have to pay in interest, and I just take what's left, which means I can potentially grow this portfolio significantly quick. Because the way I process information, like I said, if I may be wrong, but I process it, what if it was a rental property, right? You borrow X amount, you put a down payment into the house, right? Your monthly payment is, let's say, $1,000. You rent it for $1,500. $1,000 of it covers the note. Take out like an extra $150, $200 for maintenance and stuff of that nature, which leaves you with $300, right? Same thing with this strategy. If I borrow 10, I have to pay the $225. You squash what the interest is a month. I take the proceeds of the dividends as keep. But me diving in more, like I said, the more I dive in with dividend investing, the more shares I get. The more shares I get, the more dividend portfolio payouts I receive, which means I should easily be able to cover the interest and profit. Now with my logic, like I said, I may be wrong. Maybe I'm just my mind is clouded, the judgment is clouded because I'm just really trying to push myself to get to this 6 figures, but I don't see how I can lose, truthfully, with this method. If you think of it from my perspective, I may be wrong, but this is the glory of my YouTube channel. It's the journey that of me and my brain and my ideas to try to get to my goals. And this is why I started to document it, because I am going to do this today. Today I borrowed $10,000 from M1 Finance against my portfolio, and I reinvested it, which means as of today, my portfolio is worth $36,000. Now, according to M1 Finance, the interest on it like a month is very significantly low. Because like I said, it should be over $225 over the year. My dividend portfolio makes more than that. It's crazy. So with this money in, and then I'm gonna pay taxes probably tomorrow, sad face. But after that, I should have my 2K that I can go ahead and throw into this portfolio. So I have 10K invested that I invested today, put me at this 36K, and probably by Friday, well, Monday, well, I'll probably put the money in. It's Thursday night, Friday. So by Friday, I will have an additional 2K, which in my portfolio should be around 38,000. But yeah, so things are gonna start to move dramatically quickly. I'm very curious to see how this goes. Like I said, my brain, my logic may be not right, but what do you think of the strategy? Is it not similar to real estate, just not without actually holding real estate, right? It's just dividend portfolio. But with this method, with the borrowed method, I should hands down be able to pay the interest and still profit dramatically, which means technically you're looking at the new Elon Musk right here. Ooh, I'm using my stocks and leveraging them to buy more stuff, assets, and I never sold. That's crazy. But what do you think? I'm very curious. Have you thought of this strategy? Is there a name for it? Would you try it? Leave your thoughts and everything in the comments. Like I said, if you haven't thought of it and you was curious about it, but you never want to take that risk, I am your test dummy. So you want to see how this turned out? Hit the subscribe button. Most definitely hit the bell so you know when I post a video. I'm trying to put myself on a posting strategy where I will post every Wednesday and Sunday. So like I said, subscribe so you can always get that video. If you're interested in having an M1 account where you can also attempt to do this strategy, check out the links in the description. Down there you will find a link to M1 Finance, my Amex, my Patreon. It's a lot of links down there that you can start using to help build your wealth. So check those out. But I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. We'll see, right? Worst case scenario, lose a couple dollars, but I wouldn't take that risk. But I'm gonna definitely keep you guys posted. So it's your boy Exia, and I'm out.